years free financing. It's the perfect time for those home updates. Don't miss the anniversary sale going on now at Carpet Weavers.
Actually, I called the provider. It was just going to be a while before I could have service, and I couldn't wait, so I was recommended to Classic. Professionalism, their dependability, credibility, and the service technicians, I wouldn't ever call anybody else.
I truly believe that after people have experienced other companies and then given us a try, they can clearly see the difference.
Visit ClassicPlum.com.
Reporters earlier.
Well, I read his tape, and I always thought he was a nice guy, but I always thought he was weak on security, very weak on security.
The president says Iran cannot be allowed to have a nuclear weapon. The Senate just holding a key test vote on the Save America Act, which includes requiring proof of citizenship to register to vote and an ID when voting.
Even the Democrats who are complaining loudly about this required a photo ID to get into the Democrat National Convention.
Senate Majority Leader John Thune will allow amendments and a potentially lengthy debate. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer.
If a small band of MAGA senators wants to drag this out on the Senate floor, keep us here through the night, through days or longer while stalling all other important business, they can try. It will not work.
However, Republicans will tee up amendments on mail-in balloting and barring men from playing women's sports. They want to get Democrats on the record about those issues.
Fox's Chad Pergram on Capitol Hill. They only needed a simple majority to begin debate, but at some point will need 60 votes to advance the bill. At least one person airlifted to a hospital after a shooting at a VA clinic in Georgia. Police in Jasper also say responding officers found the suspect who was shot. There's no word yet on that person's identity or any possible motive. Stocks finish higher again. The Dow up 47 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it! Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Flight disruptions continue around the U.S. after a Midwest blizzard and eastern storm. More than 7,000 delays and cancellations today. Thousands of Hyundai SUVs are being recalled after a young child was killed.
Hyundai is recalling nearly 70,000 2026 Palisade SUVs with limited and calligraphy trims over a defect with the second and third row power seats that may not detect that a person is sitting there when they fold. The company is saying it's aware of a tragic incident involving a Palisade where a 2-year-old girl in Ohio lost her life March 7th. That case currently under investigation as Hyundai urges owners to make sure no children are in the back 2 rows when using the power functions. The company also offering customers a free rental vehicle until a fix is available.
Fox's Jeff Manasso, an atomic bomb survivor known for historic research, has died. Historian Shige Akimori was 88.
Born in 1937, he was 8 when the U.S. dropped an atomic bomb on Hiroshima, Japan in 1945. An estimated 140,000 people were killed. A second bomb on Nagasaki, killing roughly 70,000 others. Decades later, Mori discovered 12 American prisoners of war held in Japan were among those killed, writing to their families who did not know how their loved ones died. In 2008, he released a book called The Secret of the American POWs Killed by the Atomic Bomb. Former President Obama, who became the first U.S. leader to visit Hiroshima's Peace Memorial in 2016, giving Mori a hug. and recognizing him for his research, which led to the U.S. confirmation of the American deaths. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
Recapping stocks, the Dow up about 47 points, unable to hold on to an early rally, but the S&P and the Nasdaq also finishing in the green despite rising oil prices. I'm Lisa Brady. This is Fox News.
The Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
Yeah, I will just never forget you reading Illini headlines and saying, "What sport is this?"
Stop it. We've
I
moved
don't know
on.
why we didn't cut that.
For 3-0, it's tennis. God bless America. You got me so rattled.
It's that sport.
It's tennis
I
and
think
you.
it's tennis that gets you
It
rattled.
is.
Oh, because you're in charge of cutting sound.
What do you mean why?
That's it.
We were live!
No, like cut it. Like how do you clip it? You keep that sound bite. I want that sound bite
Oh,
forever.
you want that soundbite?
Yeah.
You know what?
But you know what? We only get my sound bites.
Damn tennis. That's not true. That's not true.
Do we have one of yours?
We have plenty of sound bites of mine. Yours are just better. Just own it. Just own that you're a better soundbite than I am. Tennis.
Hey, the Illini will take on number 3, Indiana. And what sport is this?
Tennis.
It's just great. I wish we had more.
You know what? I'll find it. I don't remember what day it was. I don't remember the specific day, but I know it was my own fault because I wrote the headlines and left out the word tennis. Damn tennis. That's what's up. ESPN Radio 93.5. Happy St. Patty's. Welcome into the Drive. I'm Curtis Allen. That is Evan Stone. You don't have any green on, sir. Not even a little bit.
Nope. And guess how much I care? Not even a little bit.
You will once Diane starts pinching. You're going to care a lot.
Listen.
Plenty to get to here on the Drive. We're going to talk lots of NCAA tournament, lots of Illini, and we're going to jump right into it. He was been one of our favorite guests over the last month, and it's great to have him back on the show with us from the Big Ten Network. Rafael Davis is on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line with us. Rafael, how are you doing this afternoon, sir?
What's up, man? I'm doing well. I can't complain. How you guys?
Hey, you know what? It's March Madness week. It's the best time of the year. This is absolutely my most favorite time of the year. So same thing here. No complaints, man. So let's jump right into it because I was watching on Big Ten Network the other day and just listening to you guys talk just a little bit. If you look at the bracket as a whole and you look at, let's just stick with the Big Ten teams, do you feel like anyone got kind of a raw deal? Do you feel like everyone kind of shook out the way it was supposed to shake out? Are there paths you like, you don't like? Like when you look at this bracket as a whole, what do you see?
I think everybody pretty much got a fair deal. Even if they didn't, I don't even know if I'm one to complain about it. You got to go out there and play ball. But for me, I look at some of the paths and I look at all of the teams, and you can make a case for each team to kind of make a run. I think you could make a case for at least 8 of the teams to win a couple games. Maybe Iowa running into Florida will be tough. But even if I look at the bracket in totality and you look at all the 8-9 games, if it's the 8-9 seed that I think could be the 1 seed, I look at Ohio State, and Ohio State is extremely talented. They're more talented than what they're seeded at. And then you look at what Duke has and no Caleb Foster, and you don't know if Gongola's going to be quite ready. I mean, if you're down 2, I mean, you look at Duke, and Duke doesn't score that much already, and you're missing 20 of your 80 points per game. Ohio State's a team that can go put 90 on you. You know what I mean? So you look at some of the paths, and you look at Michigan, you look at Purdue, you look at Michigan State. I think those are pretty clear paths to Final Four. So I think this is the Big Ten's best chance in a long, long time to win a national championship.
Rafael, obviously we talk lots of Big Ten here, and you do a great job covering it. So I want to look at the last week of the Big Ten tournament, and I want to ask you what will carry over, in your opinion, for certain teams into the NCAA tournament?
I think for Purdue, the toughness will carry over. I think when you win a certain way, and because I always say winning breeds buy-in. So when your coach has been preaching something all year long and it's not been working, but then when it works, and it works at the highest level, it's for 4 games in a row, I think Purdue is on to something because you beat Michigan. Michigan's one of the best teams in the country.
Yeah.
When you beat Michigan, you only make 4 threes. So when you can beat teams when you don't shoot the ball well, that's when Coach Painter would always say you got a really good ball team. And like you look at it, Brandon Smith only averaged 7 points a game during that 4-game run, and they won the Big Ten tournament. So you look at Purdue, and I think the toughness and all of that could carry over. I think Donovan Dent for UCLA. I think Donovan Dent, you look at UCLA's route in the tournament, you look at that ball screen, what UCLA could do in the NCAA tournament to a team like a UConn. You think of Terrence Reed, who plays the center for UConn, but you think of Tyler Bilodeau, who's going to be playing the 5 for UCLA. If that ball screen is working, and I know a lot of Illinois fans, they're very familiar with the ball screen that UCLA will put out there.
Yeah.
They can put up 100 on you real quick, and they can spread you out. And then you look at, if you could make that advantage, you trade 3s for 2s with Terrence Reed, you make him kind of a different, you know what I mean? You make him unplayable, and that's their guy. So I look at UCLA as a team that has some things carry over as well. So I'm looking forward to really seeing and Wisconsin. Wisconsin is the best backcourt in the country. And I think Wisconsin in March, when you look at their route and you look at who they have coming, you think of even they win that first game, they want to get up and down with High Point. That's fine with Wisconsin. You get to Arkansas, Darius Acuff is a problem. Yeah. And him and Nick Boyd, they can go toe-to-toe. But John Blackwell is the difference maker. Arkansas doesn't have 2 guards that can go get 30. Yeah. Wisconsin has 2 guards that can go get 30. And then you move on. I like Wisconsin's route as well. I like a few teams there. I think the Big Ten is going to do very well.
ESPN Radio 93.5, it is The Drive. I'm Curtis, that's Evan, starting hot with Rafael Davis from the Big Ten Network on the Dick Van Dyke of Plants World phone line.
I like how you bring up the guards because, they say March is about guard play, man. You got to have a dude that can go and get you a run. I was telling people all, the week leading into the Big Ten tournament, the team I didn't want to see at all was Purdue because I don't want to see Braden Smith in a one-and-done situation, win or go home. And you look through the Big Ten right now, and every single one of those teams that you just mentioned, they got a dude. You look at Bruce Thornton. You look at Donovan Dent, like you said, a Bennett Sturts with Iowa. They got guys, and so I agree. I think the Big Ten can make a run here. But you look at the Big 12 this year, and they're strong. They're top heavy, they're middle heavy. When you look at Final Four, as you're sitting down and looking at Indianapolis in your neck of the woods there, how many Big Ten teams do you think will be in it at the end?
I have 3.
3?
Yeah, I have 3, no question. Like I said, I look at Michigan State, and I look at their route, and even if you do run into Duke, like everyone's making a big uproar about LJ Casey not being with Michigan and how it's going to affect Michigan. But, Duke's missing their starting point guard. And I don't know if that's a big deal at this point in the season. And like I said, if you're not whole and Michigan State, if they're at their best, I'm always judging teams at their best. And if Duke cannot be at their best without Caleb Foster. And they've already said Caleb Foster won't play until the Final Four. So I'm taking Michigan State coming out of that region. I look at Michigan's path, and I love it. I love Michigan's path because I think they play UGA in that second game. I think they're too strong and physical for a UGA. I think you move on to that next round. And I just think what Michigan can do to you defensively, once you get to Iowa State and you look at a Joshua Jefferson is going to be facing 3 of the best front court defenders in the country. You look at Michigan and you look at Yaxu, Morez, and Aday, those are 3 all Big Ten defenders. You know what I mean? So those are 3 different bodies to put on your best player. And if your best player is a post, I really like Michigan in that matchup. So I got Michigan getting there, and then Purdue as well. I actually got Purdue as a team that can come out of that region because I think Arkansas and Wisconsin are going to meet up, and I'm not taking Wisconsin. I'm not counting Wisconsin out of that battle because I know Jaden Bradley's a really good player, but Braylon Burries is still a freshman. And John Blackwell is a dog. John Blackwell is a grown man.
Yeah,
I really like Wisconsin's backcourt in that matchup. So I don't know, man. I got 3 Big Ten teams.
Rafael, I can already hear the fingers tapping on phones right now to send in text because one team you haven't mentioned is our Fighting Illini here. And the big discussion here coming out of the Big Ten tournament isn't what they will do offensively. The concerns for the most part have been on the defensive side of the ball. But then Jay Billis comes out with his Final Four, and he says he sees Illinois and Michigan State in the Final Four. How far do you think this Illini team can go with the defense playing the way it has been for the last month?
That's a good question. Because the thing is, for me, their defense is their best defense is their worst offense, in my opinion. So I'm not a guy that thinks they need to play this great defense. I'm a guy that I think Illinois, at their best, they're scoring 100 points and they're running you out the gym. That's just my opinion. I think they have offensive suited guys. I don't know if they have the defensive stoppers across the board. Like, you have Kylan Boswell, sure, no question. But like, they don't necessarily have the guys to go out there and get stops. And when they do try to put their defensive lineup out there, it gets really, really stagnant because you don't have to guard those guys on the offensive end. And those ball screens don't look as smooth because it's not as much space. And now King Wagler is being double teamed. He's being trapped. He doesn't have no space to go drive. So for me, I like Illinois as an offensive unit. When you have Bill Rick Ellis, Jake Davis out there stretching the floor, you got Thomas Lobb making shots. So I think Illinois, their route and their path, I like it. I like it to get right there to Houston. And then against Houston, I think Houston presents a problem to where it's been all year for Illinois. When they lose games, it's because their bigs are soft. And that's just the lack of better words. Just because you got to have Thomas Slav and Zavamir go get you rebounds. Like, they got to go rebound. And against Houston, they're going to hit you for no reason. So if those guys can embrace the physicality of the game and go and get the glass and win the glass against Houston, then they have a chance, I think. But if you watch Illinois this season, they're tall, yeah, but once you start banging on those dudes a little bit, they don't like it as much. And you can take them out the game. So it's up to those bigs.
Well, your guy Keaton Wagler, accolades just keep rolling in for him. Announced today that he's second-team All-American. Obviously, freshman of the year in the Big Ten. He gets second-team All-Big Ten. What do you think about his season now that the awards are starting to roll in? Do you think he's right where he's supposed to be in some of those accolades, or do you think he was snubbed or too high? Where do you put him?
No, I think he should have been player of the year in the Big Ten. I think you look at what he did, you look at where Illinois was as a season, you look at his individual performances and where he did them and when he had them and the wins he was able to get. I mean, and I get Gatcha was the best all-around player. I get it. But, like, you got to go win the game. And when it came times for a kid to go win you a game, Keaton did that over and over and over again in some of the toughest places. So I probably would have went Keaton for first-team All-American. That's just me. But I look at Keaton as one of the better freshmen to ever come across the Big Ten Conference. He was fabulous all season long. And to do what he did on the road, you think about going to Nebraska and getting that win when you need one. You think about getting the win at Purdue. He just did some things this season that were remarkable, and I commend him for it. I think he had a really, really special year. I think he's going to be known as one of the better Fighting Illini to come through the program if he can get some wins here in March.
So I want to switch directions just a quick moment, get a little bit more personal, because you had the honor and the privilege at Purdue to play in 2 March Madness tournaments, kind of a part of Coach Painter's, one of his rebuilds there and working your way back into the tournament. When you look at this week, today and this week, as teams are getting ready to head out to wherever they're playing, you get to location, you do your walkthroughs, your shoot-arounds. Do they just feel different? Like when you get in the arena and you start doing your shoot-around and you realize you see the floor and the stickers on the floor, like how do you keep your composure? Does it just feel like a different practice and shoot-around than it does the rest of the year, or is it business as usual?
The open one feels like a different one, I would say. When it's open and you got fans in there, it feels different because you normally don't have fans in practice with you. Yeah. And then normally that open one, you're not really doing too much. It's like just a show for the fans. So maybe that one feels different. But when you go to the real practice, it doesn't really feel different. You normally practice off-site. You get your real one in. But I would say when you go to the locker room, I think that's what feels cool. When you go in the locker room, you see your gifts. You see how it's laid out all nice. That part of it's really cool. But also, just seeing the fans at practice and embracing the fans, that's the cool part of it. I don't know about the practice aspect of it in front of the fans because you're just kind of like doing shooting drills and whatnot. But
yeah,
it's cool to kind of get the ball in your hand too because it's a different basketball. So I guess getting the ball in your hand and seeing the locker room, I think those are the coolest parts.
You still got your gifts? What'd you get?
Oh yeah, I wore my March Madness watch today. Actually, I wore my one of my watches today. You get a bunch of body wash and all that stuff. I think we got a backpack. I don't know. Yeah, I'm a hoarder, so I still got all my stuff.
They got March Madness body wash? This is mind-blowing to me.
Socks, and we had all types of stuff. I still got my socks. It was crazy. Yeah, we got all that cool stuff here.
That's
I still got my per diem, too. I saved it up.
All right, let's go now. Okay. I love that. I love that. I mean, and I would say this, too, not to bring up bad memories, but I know that your 2 tournament appearances, Illinois fans, it's a little PTSD for them because you had 2 overtime games in the tournament. They say every team except for one has that moment where they're sitting on the bench or on the floor and you realize, oh, it's over. As a college athlete, all this year, you're working for it, and you hit that moment unless you win it all. What is something a coach says to kind of really bring that home or to really kind of console the locker room in those moments, if anything, that you remember about in those years?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, we lost. I cried. Tank talked probably. It was over. I don't know what he said. So, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what he said.
It's tough. Yeah, it was one of those years. I remember losing to Cincinnati at the Yum Center. And when we lost, it was devastating. We were up, I think, in that final minute. We going to overtime. We losing overtime. And, that year, that year we had just come off of being last place in the Big Ten. We were last place in the Big Ten my sophomore year. And then that junior year, we had lost to North Florida, Gardner-Webb, Vandy, and then we lost to Notre Dame about 30, all in the non-conference. So we were far outside of the bubble. And then we maybe won 4 out of 5 or 4 out of 6 ranked games in a row. And then we ended up putting ourselves in a bubble. We got into the tournament. And then we felt like we were about to win. Then that last minute, it kind of unraveled. We missed some free throws. I think I missed some free throws. And then we go in overtime, we lose. And I don't think I did media or nothing. I just went right to the shower, and I think I was in the shower for like an hour after the game. I ain't listened to Paint or nothing. So, yeah, those moments are the moments that stick with you.
Yeah.
I remember being a senior, losing to Little Rock, and then seeing somebody on a plane in a Little Rock hoodie 6 months later, and I got off the plane. So, yeah, some of those moments, they live with you for the rest of your life.
Hey, I still listen. I feel that because if I, bless her soul, but if I ever saw Sister Jean in person, man, I was gonna have problems. Because Loyola to this day, I see them lose on the score ticker, and I'm like, yeah, serves them right. So yeah, I kind of.
No, I feel you.
It's very different, obviously, because I didn't play, but it's always good.
Same way about Chris Beard.
Yeah, come on now. That's what watching Ole Miss suck. Anyways, so I just love hearing from the players' perspective because as fans, we got all sorts of talking points. Getting into the tournament hot, but sometimes you spend so much energy trying to get back into the conversation that you're a little burned. I just love hearing the little behind the scenes stuff from someone who actually lived it versus us that just internet warrior type it. So that's good stuff, man. I appreciate your words, man.
Oh, no, anytime. No, I appreciate it. The tournament is always the best part. You just got to make sure, no matter how talented you are, no matter where you are in the season, no matter where you're playing, you got to make sure your team is together. Your team being together at this time of the season, that's what matters the most. The closest teams, they win right now. If you're really talented, but your team is spread apart right now, you focus on different things. If you got guys focused on the draft, if you got seniors focused on what's next, if you got guys that's coming off the bench worried about the transfer portal, it's not going to work out for you no matter where you're seated. So at this point in the season, it's about everybody in the locker room being on the same page, the goals being the same, and everybody being locked in together. And I think that those are the teams. That's how you go out there, and that's how you make a run, along with some talent for sure.
Rafael, what kind of coverage will you be doing for the tournament? Are you going to be in studio somewhere, or what will the next couple of weeks look like for you?
Yeah, I'll be in studio with the Big Ten Network. I'll be in and out. I'll be doing a day show. I'll be doing a night show. I'll be doing whatever show they let me do. So whatever somebody needs me to do, I'll be around. It'll be a lot of fun. If a team gets to Indy, we may do some stuff from there. So hopefully we get a Big Ten team in Indianapolis. This is the best time of the year for me, too, because I just get to openly root for all 18 teams, well, 9 teams in the Big Ten, and 9 teams right now. And I feel like all Big Ten teams should root for each other because this is a special time. And I think the conference is really having one of those years, and I'm glad I get to cover it another year.
Well, I'll tell you what, I was a little bummed on BTN as my boy Trent kind of stepped away a little bit and came back, and so now I only get to hang out with him on the weekends. But I'll check out some more now because I feel like we got a connection. So this is good. I'm gonna tune in. I'm gonna watch some Rayfeld Davis on Big Ten Network.
Oh yeah, man, we just became best buds.
Hey, let's make it happen.
Watch this. Let me know how we doing. Let me know how everything going.
Hey,
good.
I got you, man. Hey, I don't like Illinois fans either. So
like
we're good, dude. This is awesome.
No, I like Illinois fans. Illinois fans, that's the thing about Twitter. It's a real life out there. Illinois fans, some people love Jay Simpson, Champaign. I'm a resident Champaign member. My nephews live out there, so be good.
Oh, let's go then.
Oh, Rayfeld, that made me lightheaded. That was good. All right, man. Safe travels over the next couple of weeks. Enjoy the tournament. Looking forward to talking to you again real soon.
All right, y'all have a good one.
That is Rayfeld Davis from the Big Ten Network, Purdue alum, on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line, 217-359-2255. That's your number for the Max Twin City Recycling text line. Congratulations. You made a friend. You know, that was much nicer than the last time he was on. Things were a little tense between him and Illini fans, and I think you brought peace right there.
Well, you know, it's like you said. You have the online folk, and then you have the real life folk.
Oh my goodness.
They're hardly ever the same. So
I tell you, he's gonna come back through the area, and you guys can go get some Jets pizza or something. You know, you can really bond over it. 217-359-2255. Joe in Springfield, John in Camargo. We see your text. We're going to get to those in just a few, and we'll do some Illini headlines in just a bit as well. Now, something Evan mentioned, in case you missed it, Keaton Wagler named to the second team for the All-American roster. So Keaton Wagler officially an All-American. That's pretty cool stuff.
Get that jersey in the rafters, baby.
So to that point, I was looking at some numbers about how Keaton compares. Just think of recent Illini lore with Brad Underwood. Think of the Ios and the Kofis and Terrence and some of those guys.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was looking at the numbers and how it compares, and there's some interesting little nuggets in there. So we'll talk about that next on The Drive.
It's time to test your college basketball knowledge with the Stevie J Broadcasting March Mayhem as we fill our brackets at StevieJ.com. Urbana Park District has gotten in on the fun with their summer camps and job opportunities posted online. Moe's Burritos Bar and Grill at 723 South Neal Street for terrific Mexican food at great prices. And Kramer Siding and Windows since 1955, providing superior exteriors. Go online and try to win season football tickets to see the Illini in action at Geese Memorial Stadium this fall with the U of I Golf Course in Savoy, ready to get new members and participants in the junior golf program. Plus, Legacy Solar with their spokesperson Butch Patrick or Eddie Munster, getting you some signed artwork with your energy estimate from Walter Pierce. Some premier teams will be playing along with our Illini, and we'll be checking out the sheet you submitted to see if you picked the top teams that could go all the way, and hoping you win the Fighting Illini football tickets so you and Frank can see all the home games this fall. Thanks for listening, and go Illini!
I'm very honored to have Brittany Algie in my studio. She's advanced practice registered nurse specializing in behavioral health at OSF Healthcare Sacred Heart in Urbana. Now has several options for inpatient, outpatient behavioral health, offering medication management and therapy to treat depression, anxiety, bipolar, schizophrenia, PTSD, and more. Isn't it? You have to kind of agree you kind of need to talk to somebody?
Absolutely.
How do you get to that?
Being honest and doing a self-check-in about how you feel. Checking in with your emotions, seeing like, am I okay? Because a lot of times we're highly functioning, feeling depressed, we're feeling overwhelmed, and we don't take a minute to just pause and actually see how we're feeling.
But so stigma, Brittany, and you don't want to talk to somebody because then they'll think you're crazy.
Well, there's no such thing as crazy. So there's nothing wrong with asking for help because life is always going to be challenging. There's always going to be stressors that come along.
So we commend you and
Thank you.
Somebody who loves what they do. So I'm going to give out your number.
Behavioral Health Professionals, OSF Healthcare, Sacred Heart, Urbana, 217-337-4310.
At Parkland College, your future is closer than you think. Transferable credits help you save big on a 4-year degree. Expert training in high-demand fields helps put you in the job you want. You'll find support when you need it and plenty of ways to get involved, make friends, and build your community. Great futures start at Parkland College. Enroll now at parkland.edu/spring26.
Jesse with Land's Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions. Hey, do you have sewer blockages, problems? Are your toilets gurgling? Why deal with the headache? Call Land's Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions today. We can come out and clean your line, camera it, show you what the problem is, and then we have an expert underground team that can make those repairs. 217-355-5512. We are here for you when you need us. Land's Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions. Why call anyone else?
Welcome back into the drive, ESPN Radio 93.5. I'm Curtis Allen. That is Evan Stone. Thanks again to Raphael Davis from the Big Ten Network for hopping on with us just a little bit ago, talking NCAA tournament. Interesting take that he had that, in his opinion, the Illini offense on their worst day, that's their best defense, sir. What'd you think of that? What'd you make of that?
Well, I always feel like, I've been saying this for a couple weeks now, it's fascinating to listen to national folk talk about this Illini basketball team and local folk talk about this Illinois basketball team, because it's completely different conversations.
Well, yeah.
Nationally, they're like, boy, this team, they're dangerous, watch out. And then locally, I don't know if it's because we're too close to it or what, because locally we're like, oh, I saw a text from yesterday or something that was like, they'll beat Penn, but that's as far as they can go. It's like, dang, man, we are so harsh on ourselves.
It is interesting. There's a phrase that I've heard used in sports radio and sports journalism for a long, long time from the men and women that cover a team locally, and when they compare that to the national stuff, and I'm not calling anyone stupid, but the phrase was out of town stupid. You don't know that well because you're not as close to it as we are. And I wonder if some of that has yet to creep in for the national stuff. And what I mean by that is, you hear Raphael, he just straight up called the bigs of the Illini soft. I mean, those are his words. He called them soft. I haven't heard anyone nationally say something like that, but somebody that covers the Big Ten might. And you don't hear anybody locally say something like that, but what you do hear is, where's that nastiness? Where's that physicality? Where's that stuff, that X factor that Brad Underwood talks a lot about, creeping back into this team and having that be a part of their game in the NCAA tournament? Yeah,
I think what he ended up saying is they have been soft, they can be soft, but if they can get nasty and get big, that's when this team will make a run. I love it may have been Ravi yesterday as we were talking about it. I love the path to get to Houston and Houston. And like Raphael said, Houston said they're a mean team.
That's
it's not the Houston of the past several years.
But you talk about nastiness. That's a team that plays with an edge in college basketball, and that's what's taken them to what they're the two, right? That's what's taken them to that 2 spot.
And so you play them in Houston. But what Ravi said is that's the tough game in this team's path.
Yeah.
And you got to play somebody at some point. Yeah, that's how it is.
You're not going to sleepwalk to the Final
and so,
Four. Right.
So that's the tough one. And what Ravi said is that's a harder game than anything that they would play after it. And so you get past Houston in Houston if you make it there. Obviously, both teams show up.
Mm-hmm.
And then, man, it really does feel like at times you're playing with house money. So I'm excited, man. Let's get this thing rolling. Marcus in Colorado just texted in. Have you guys looked at ticket prices for Thursday's game? I have not.
I haven't either. I did see something, not for the Illinois game specifically, but I did see, oh goodness, I think it was from Sports Track, that the average ticket for the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament were like $250 a pop. Like that's the average, $250 a ticket.
Well, I assumed the Illini's location was going to be pretty high, simply because Duke and North Carolina are both at that location.
Yeah.
So I mean, those things are going to go quick. No, I don't think simply the Illini and Penn are driving prices up over in Greenville. But.
Oh, I mean, it's a business model, man. There's you know what I mean? Like, there's a reason that certain teams are in certain markets and certain brackets. That's, you got to put butts in the seats and people. But yeah, I think I saw the average ticket was $250. So what that means is when you look at, the the 200 or 300 levels of a fill-in-the-blank college basketball NBA arena, and courtside, that's where you kind of find that middle ground. So, that's ticket prices across the board, no matter what the form of entertainment or sports is. It's
going to keep going up.
It's going to keep going up unless people stop buying tickets, and that's probably not going to happen. But yeah, to Marcus in Colorado's point, I would imagine it's pretty pricey, but I have not specifically seen how much it is. So now I got to check that out. I got to look at the South region. We'll get into that.
You do your stuff, because I know you got lots of stuff. I'm going to effort this.
I've got all sorts of stuff. You never know what sort of stuff I'm going to stuff next, sir. What?
Oh.
Anyways.
Illini headlines on ESPN 93.5.
Let's get into it. Illini headlines. Keaton Wagler named a second-team All-American by the AP. Wagler is the first freshman in Illinois history to be named an All-American by the AP. He is the fifth AP All-American in the last 66 years, of the Brad Underwood era, and 22nd in school history. By the way, the Illini playing Thursday night, taking on Penn in Greenville in the South region. And that tip-off, 8:25, Illinois opening as 20-point favorites. You also know Illinois' women's team will face Colorado on Saturday at 8:30. That is down in Vandyland in Nashville. That one will be on ESPN2. Fighting Illini baseball are set for their first midweek road game of the season as Illinois travels east to take on Indiana State, the Fighting Sycamores. The sides will square off tomorrow at 5:30 on ESPN. Plus, right-handed pitcher Sam Mommer is scheduled to start. For the second consecutive year, Illinois wrestling has qualified 8 wrestlers for the NCAA championships in Cleveland, which are taking place this Thursday through Saturday. It's the first time in program history that they've sent 8 or more wrestlers to the national tournament, and the most since 2014. Reigning national champ at 133 pounds, Lucas Bird has punched his ticket to his 5th NCAA championship, where he's a 3-time All-American. And Illinois golf, the 9th-ranked Illini golf team, they are in the NCAA Division I team rankings and number 8 in the GCAA's Bushnell Golf Week coaches poll. They opened play at the Palma Valley Invitational yesterday. Ethan Wilson, competing as an individual, posted the season-best score with a blemish-free round of 3 under 68. One more for you. Illinois softball meeting Missouri at the Eichelberger Field. That is tomorrow. It's a non-conference doubleheader. Game 1 of the bragging rights battle starts at 1 o'clock. Game 2 follows 30 minutes after. Fans are encouraged to wear orange to both games, and they will stream on Big Ten Plus. Those are your Illini headlines. 217-359-2255. Matt Lang on the text line. John and Camargo, all you guys, we see you. We're going to get to all your texts. Lots of good stuff rolling in. How much are tickets, sir?
Well, I almost forgot what I was doing.
So you got on Instagram, didn't you?
Well, no, I got distracted by Jalen Waddle getting traded to Denver. And then I got distracted by Aiden Holloway. The Alabama guy had over 2 pounds of pot in his apartment.
Who?
So the Alabama second leading scorer.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's still going to play. They'll find a way to stretch that out.
They did announce today he's not playing. He's away from the team.
Big wink.
Big wink.
Big wink.
So
yeah,
here we come. Got him.
So
okay.
did you?
Well, they're not that crazy.
Did you even look them up or not?
I just pulled them up.
Oh my gosh.
They're not even that crazy.
How much?
I can get 2 tickets together for $70. $70 each.
What section?
I mean, they're top.
All right. So how much is it when you get to the lower level?
If I want to get to the floor,
yeah. How much is the floor?
They're about $500.
Okay.
If you're mid court floor, $500. If you go corner behind the hoop, $120.
So it's $500 a pop for a courtside seat.
For mid court courtside, $500.
Okay. All right.
What are you doing? Checking your bank account?
No. So. Yeah, that averages out to $285 a ticket. That's the average. So, yeah.
What? No, that's $500 for one ticket.
Yeah, I know. So you add that up, that's $1,000 plus $140 for the nosebleeds up top.
Okay.
All right. So now you divide that by 2. That gets you to $570 for a pair of tickets. You divide that by 2, it's $285. The average cost for one. The average. So what Sports Track reported, what I saw yesterday, is right on par with it. They said the average is about $250. You're in Greenville, $285 the average for a ticket.
That's kind of ridiculous, though.
It went from not too bad to now it's kind of ridiculous.
No, it's kind of ridiculous to look at an average ticket price as like I know that this is going to sound so dumb. You clip it. To look at the average ticket price as the average ticket price, because it's not the average ticket price.
Yeah, I'm clipping that.
Like, listen, you've got like none of us are looking at courtside. Like, those drown out what the actual average ticket price is. Because none of us are looking at courtside tickets.
There was a time not that long ago when $70 would put you in the 100 section for a ticket.
We're all. I mean,
Not
back in my day,
that's not even.
well, we got tariffs nowadays, buddy.
I mean, dude, it's
so
not even-
here's the thing: is
tariffs. It's not even back in my day. You talk about. We're talking pre-COVID. You go to 2018, 2019 ticket prices versus what it is now. I could get on a soapbox rant about some of this stuff, but
the average ticket of our people. Which maybe we have listeners that are in
what do you mean?
What
do you mean our people? What do you mean our people?
Poor. So we're
All right,
looking at.
now you're speaking my language.
I think the average ticket price of the tickets that we would be looking at is closer to around $100, which I think is fine. You look at the affordable tickets around the bowl. They're between right now. I'm looking at they're between $69
I hear you.
and $120.
I hear you.
So, you know what's interesting is we have on the TV here in studio, they're replaying the Illinois-Iowa State Sweet 16 game a couple of years ago. And Momchilovich is on that team, and he's shooting 40+% from three this year. He's, sniper. And he couldn't hit a single shot in that game. And I was just reminded by that. And I was like, that was awesome.
Look at that. He got a lot better, though.
Yeah, sure.
He got a little better.
Sure.
I put together some numbers about how Keaton Wongler compares to
I do nothing.
Some of the other guys of recent Illinois success. And I was looking at Io and Terrence Shannon and Kofi, and even going back a little bit and looking at Darren Williams. And just kind of comparing what Keaton has done this year versus those guys in their, I don't want to say peak years, but typically second, third years where you saw those guys really ascend and become the stars that they were. And there's some interesting little nuggets in here, and it's going to make you as an Illini fan, if you already were like, man, I wish Keaton would stick around for another year, it's probably going to make you wish a lot that he would stick around for another year. Like, man, I really wish he would stick around for another year. So I want to get into some of that in just a few. Also, did you finished filling out your bracket for our March Mayhem bracket challenge? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You don't even worry about that. I started.
I've been editing it here or there based on which is the cool thing about these brackets on ESPN.com. Ding. Is that you can fill it out, but then as more information comes through or whatever, I go in and I edit it and I switch it. Oh, okay, I learned this about that team.
That kid got caught with 2 pounds of marijuana. Yeah, I'm going
to tell you right now, I don't have Alabama beating Michigan anymore. So
I might have to adjust my bracket a little bit.
Yeah.
If you haven't done so yet, our March Mayhem bracket challenge is up live right now at StevieJ.com. That's StevieJay.com. And free to play. You can sign up. We've got a password for you on the website. I'll go ahead and tell you right now because you're listening. The password is ESPN935.
How do you know they're listening?
Well, if they're listening right now, they heard me say that. So
big assumption.
I'm speaking into the ether.
Yucky, is that a word?
No, that's not what I meant to hit. My man. Yeah, maybe that one too. But anyways, get to the website, StevieJay.com, and get yourself signed up to play. You could win an awesome prize pack from our friends with Kramer's Siding and Window, the U of I Golf Course in Savoy, Moe's Burritos Bar and Grill on South Neal and Champaign, also Legacy Solar, and the Urbana Park District Indoor Aquatic Center, which, by the way, they're open during spring break. They're all a part of it. So you fill out the bracket, and if you have the best bracket, you might win that prize pack, which also includes season tickets for Illinois football, and that will be courtesy of ESPN 93.5 and Stevie J Broadcasting. So, get yourself signed up at StevieJ.com.
I love so John and Camargo's text.
Yeah, what
is
John
great. He says, ladies and gentlemen, you don't get this kind of investigative reporting on just any radio show. Leading up to the Tennessee game, Tomislav Ivicic was shooting 38% from three. After Tennessee, he has fallen to only 30%. I love country music, and I know the country music gods love their guitars, and they are capable of getting their revenge in mysterious ways. Yeah, I mean, maybe what Tommy needs to do is smash another guitar to break the boogeyman that is.
That's what did it. Yeah, Hank Williams Sr. was looking down from heaven and went, "Oh no, he didn't do that," or however Hank Sr. talked.
I don't know.
He didn't do that.
Is he the guy who did the Monday Night Football song for a while?
That was Hank Jr.
Oh, I don't know Hank Sr.
And then there's a...
What's a Hank Sr. song?
There's a tear in my beer.
I have no idea what you just did.
There's a tear in my beer. That's Hank Sr.
That sounds not...
There's a lot of Hank... Okay,
healthy.
Time for a quick break. When we come back, I want to dive into these Keaton Wagler numbers, and let's all educate Evan Stone. Evan Blarney Stone. How about that? It is St. Patty's. We'll educate you on some country music.
I'll educate you on St. Patty's.
I cannot wait for that. We'll do that next on The Drive.
Tony, the family's in trouble.
What is it, Godfather?
Appliance issues. Cousin Vinny's icebox. It's a whole situation.
They call that a refrigerator now.
Jimmy 2 times can't boil his pasta on the whatchamacallit.
His range?
I'm done doing favors. No more today.
Hey, it's Paul Rican from Dick Van Dyke Appliance World.
No favors. I'm just here to help.
I'm listening.
Cousin Vinny needs an icebox, or we'll call it a refrigerator. We have stainless steel French doors in stock for next day delivery starting at $15.99.
And Jimmy 2 times has pasta issues.
Gas or electric ranges for Jimmy's pasta starting at $5.99.
What about protection? Our family is all about protection.
We got you covered there as well. Most of our appliances come with a free 10-year protection plan.
Welcome to the family, Paulie.
Thanks. Spaghetti for dinner?
Forget about it.
Wow.
When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Within the cities we call home, Busey Bank is more than a name. It's a commitment to your dreams. With Busey, trusted guidance is tailored to empower you every step of the way. Whether it's seamlessly managing your finances or planning for your future, Busey is dedicated to your financial success. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
When sewer or septic trouble hits, visit Berg Sewer and Septic. Family owned and proudly serving Central Illinois, Berg specializes in sewer repair, septic service, water line repairs, sump pumps, and drainage solutions. They don't upsell, they solve the problem right the first time. From backups to breakdowns, count on Central Illinois' most trusted septic service. Berg Sewer and Septic. Dependable, honest, local. Get a second opinion you can trust. Visit bergtanksinc.com.
Don't let summer pass you by. Make it unforgettable with Champaign Park District. Build a schedule that keeps you and your family engaged all summer long. Make it a splash at the Sholem Aquatic Center. Get creative with ceramics, drawings, or dance. Take the stage with the youth theater program and stay active with group fitness classes and sports leagues. Don't wait. Registration is open now for Champaign-Urbana residents. Explore activities and plan your summer fun today at champaignparks.org.
When time matters, proximity counts. Fly Champaign-Urbana and start your trip on schedule. American Airlines connects you through Dallas and Chicago, linking you to business centers across the U.S. and beyond with connections to over 200 destinations. Be efficient, be connected, be home sooner. Fly Champaign-Urbana Willard Airport. Local convenience, global reach.
The Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
Is your guitar gently weeping like Tommy's is? The guitar curse, that's what it is. We figured that out, right?
I don't have a guitar.
ESPN Radio 93.5. It is The Drive. Happy St. Patty's Day to you. I'm Curtis Allen. That is Evan Stone. So should we talk about Keaton Wagler and his numbers, or should you educate everyone on St. Patrick's Day?
Well, listen. Believe it or not.
Who led the Snakes out of Ireland? Who did it?
It was not St. Patrick.
Who was it?
Who knows that happened? Is that a real thing?
I mean, that's what I heard.
That's what I heard.
He had a.
It was in a movie.
He had a special. You know what? I watched like the first 4 Leprechaun movies before I got into work today, right up to Leprechaun in the Hood. So I was feeling pretty good about how my St.
The
Patrick's Day.
Leprechaun in the Hood.
Oh, that's a great one. Leprechaun in the Hood, Part 4. Him and Ice-T and Coolio. Yeah. Now that is high price cinema right there. That's worth the $70 ticket.
Listen.
Go see that in the theater. Mm-hmm.
Listen.
You can't buy that sort of. Well, you could, but never mind.
St. Patrick, as a young man in the 5th century, Patrick was kidnapped from his home in Roman Britain and spent years enslaved as a shepherd in Ireland.
What are you reading this from? Wikipedia?
No. He eventually managed to escape back to Britain and then returned as a missionary to convert the Irish to Christianity. Patrick described his remarkable story himself in his Confessio, a form of autobiography. The Confessio survives today in only 8 manuscripts. Our oldest copy of Patrick's Confessio exists in the Latin-Irish volume known as the Book of Armagh. Patrick's Confessio contains no mention of what is now commonly associated with him, mainly shamrocks and the snakes being driven out of Ireland. Although these popular traditions have later grown up around his story, they are not original to his own retelling of his life.
Wait.
In 93.5.
There you go. Now keep going.
Although the use of Patrick's famous shamrock illustration to explain the doctrine of the Trinity, i.e. the 3 leaves all being the one plant, may be more apocryphal than actually from the man himself.
How long are you going to...
This last one. Its connection nonetheless stuck with traditions of the figure, giving us our modern association with Irish shamrocks and St. Patrick's Day.
There you go. Little House of Pain
and no,
for St. Patrick.
It has nothing to do with drinking. But hey, green beer.
You didn't say one thing in there about beer. You didn't
Speaking of which, if you want a green beer, you can go to Pia's. They got green beer all day
let's
today.
talk about green beer.
Let's
Pia's.
go.
They got specials on Jameson. Hello. Bailey's. They got also. It's a St. Patty's party with ESPN 93.5, Stevie J Broadcasting, and Pia's Sports Bar and Grill, 1609 West Springfield Avenue. So yes.
You know what's also interesting?
The official St. Patty's bar of the drive today.
Ireland doesn't even really celebrate St.
Oh
Patrick's
no,
Day.
I've got some. I have some friends from Ireland, and they love to make fun of Americans on this day.
Yeah, they celebrate it, but differently. Which, if you've not noticed, the Marching Illini is in Ireland right now.
Yeah, they did that last year, right?
A couple of years
2
ago.
years ago. 2
years ago.
Yeah.
So they were in a big parade yesterday, and so I'm excited to see some of the videos that'll come out from that. But you got some numbers, some stats, some figures.
Yeah, Keaton Wagler, of course, named to the All-American team, the latest in I don't know how many accolades. I mean, there's a press release that was put out by Illinois men's basketball of all the awards and all the little.
Yeah, he's got at least one.
It's insane. Like the list goes on and on and on and on. But I wanted to look at some numbers, and these are just the averages for some of the bigger stats: points per game, assists, rebounds, what have you. And so, because I've seen more than one person, you even hinted at it earlier about get ready to retire the number. And I know a lot of people are starting to have that feeling about, well, is Keaton one of the all-time best? The eye test says, yeah, he's one of the best that Illinois has ever had.
Yep.
But just how good? So as a freshman, he's averaging 18 points a game. Io in his best year, which was his last year, was 20 points a game. Kofi, 21 and 11 boards his junior year. And I mean that. You're talking about Io averaging just a bucket more a game his junior year versus Keaton's freshman year.
Yep.
Rebounds 6 to 5 Io, 5 to 4 assists per game. So if you're going to make a comparison, I've seen this phrase Io light. I don't know if I agree with that, but I've seen that more than once. And you kind of keep going through, like, you know. Is he an all-timer in your opinion? I guess forget the numbers for a second. Just in your opinion, is he a player that we get 6 months from now? You're still going, I should probably retire his number.
Well, and just remember, number in the rafters. The Illini basketball program does not retire.
Not retire. I know they put the number in the.
We don't retire numbers. We put more so the name in the rafters.
Sometimes upside down, but I digress.
Well, you know. When life gives you upside down, turn it around.
You gotta turn it around, baby.
It's all dependent on the next couple of weeks. You know, if the Illini, God forbid, have an early out, then great year. Maybe still put his name in the rafters because he's an All-American. I think All-Americans should have some sort of recognition, big time. But if they go on a deep tournament run and he does his thing, oh yeah, absolutely.
When you look at the points per possession as well, this team is higher than most of your favorite all-time Illini teams. That shouldn't surprise you with the how much scoring is done.
Right.
But what is interesting is he's in the statistical neighborhood of any of the greats you can think of the modern era. So you go back to the Flying Illini team up to now, and Keaton's still in the conversation, no matter who you're comparing him to. But I think you just nailed it right there. If he doesn't have a run, then I don't know if we're hanging a banner upside down, right side up at State Farm Center.
Yeah, which is it's hard because once again he's a freshman, and so he's got the skill and the ability, but sometimes that maturity to be that killer, it comes with age versus skill, and so it's hard to put a March run on a freshman. But if you have a one and done in the Big Ten tournament and then an early out in the NCAA tournament, I don't think he's going to go. I don't think he's going to go down as like an insane historical Illinois player.
No,
you might look back on it the same way you look back on Kasparis and Will.
But even with the regular season numbers, those regular season numbers and the numbers up to this point are going to be on par with anybody that you go, man, that kid was incredible when he was here. Man, that team was great.
Yeah.
It'll always be on par with it, but I think for that lore we're talking about, I think you need one more year for sure, or you need a deep run this year, one or the other.
You get a deep run here, I think you're good.
Mm-hmm.
You're good. Now, what qualifies as a deep run? Elite Eight? Sweet 16 probably.
Depends on how that plays out. You know, you get to the Sweet 16, depends on how you perform. An Elite Eight run,
For sure. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You're putting him in the same conversation with Darren, with Io, with D, with Kendall, any of those guys. Yeah, take your pick.
Jacob Muhammad says if he ends up as the consensus All-American, it won't matter what happens in the NCAA tournament. That has no bearing on if they hang a jersey or not. Yeah, that's not necessarily what we're talking about. I think his jersey, put it up there. But we're talking about just lore. Just as we talk about Illinois, the way we talk about Io, the way we talk about Terrence Shannon, the way we talk about Kofi and some of these guys, the way you talk about D and Darren, the way you talk about, all those guys, will Keaton be in that conversation? If there's no deep run, probably not.
Yeah, Scott and
it'll always be sorry to cut you off. It'll always be a fun story of unranked 200th best player in the nation as a high school recruit, whatever, to one and done All-American. That'll be fun.
Freshman of the year, all that sort of stuff.
That'll be fun. But if we're talking about lore, Illini basketball lore, you need a run.
Yeah, Scott and Sarah, he'd be the only one and done. Well, exactly. That's the point, is those guys that we talk about, they had sustained success over, 2, 3, sometimes 4 years. And for me, that makes me just, come on, one more year. And I know that's probably not going to happen, but man.
It's not going to happen.
But, man, think about how amped people were when Io came back for that year. Oh,
yeah.
Just the announcement.
Yeah.
Forget whatever LeBron was doing with taking his talents. That's the announcement. That was the, that was the announcement that mattered around here. That was a big deal. And I think it would be something very, very similar if Io made that announcement. Not expecting it to, though. But I just thought this would be a fun little exercise in Illini nerddom to kind of go down that rabbit hole a little bit, compare numbers and stats. 217-359-2255. Shout out to Matt Lang on the text line. Matt sent in a nice text about our conversation we had with Rafael Davis, and that it was one of the better ones he's heard from Rafael, so we appreciate that very much. And if you missed that conversation with Rafael, you'll hear it again after 5 o'clock here on The Drive, and also we'll have it posted wherever you get your podcast. Just search for The Drive, ESPN 93.5, etc., and make sure you like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. But it was a very, very good conversation, a very honest one from Rafael. And speaking of which, we'll have another honest conversation in just a few with the great one, Kyle Tosk from Illini Inquirer. He's been a busy, busy young man, traveling all over the place covering Illinois.
Is he in Cancun right now?
Or I feel like he's
Panama City?
Yeah, I was going to say Panama. I feel like Kyle's discovered Van Halen at this point, and, he's going through a David Lee Roth phase right now somewhere.
Wow.
No, they're probably not. No, never mind. That's probably not happening. But I know he was in Chicago for the Big Ten tournament. He had some very interesting takes that I want to get into with him coming up in just a few. So that'll be in the next 15, 20 minutes or so. We'll talk with Kyle. We're inching towards the top of the hour. Any final thoughts on St. Patrick's Day for right now in your report, or Keaton Wagler for that matter? You got 5 seconds. No big deal.
Wow. I got something really important to say.
Time for news.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
It's up to the commander-in-chief. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. That bottom line from the U.S. intelligence chief after a senior intel official resigned over the fighting with Iran. Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House.
The director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, says President Trump is responsible for determining what is and is not an imminent threat, but sidestepped whether she offered a view about Iran before U.S. and Israeli airstrikes were launched. In a social media post, Gabbard says her office is responsible for helping to coordinate and integrate all intelligence to provide the president with the best information available to inform his decision. Her statement comes following the abrupt resignation of Joe Kent, who led the National Counterterrorism Center. Kent says Iran posed no imminent threat and the war was started due to pressure from Israel and its powerful American lobby.
The White House calling it insulting and laughable to suggest the president based his decision on the influence of others, even foreign countries. Just getting word of more rocket and drone attacks targeting a U.S. diplomatic facility near the Baghdad International Airport and the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad, with Reuters reporting an explosion heard near the compound. No immediate reports of casualties. A suspect is dead after a shooting at a VA clinic in Jasper, Georgia.
Police Chief Matt Dawkins said when officers got to the scene, it was not long before the suspected gunman was found.
The individual was confronted by responding officers and was subsequently shot during the encounter.
Chief Dawkins said that suspect is dead. A wounded victim was also found and airlifted to a hospital. During the incident, several people had to shelter from the gunfire. Jimmy Mooney was one of them.
We heard the gunshot from the outside of the officers because they were around the building and we were in the back.
There were no other injuries. An investigation into what led to the shooting continues.
Fox's Gernal Scott. Jasper is about 60 miles north of Atlanta. America is listening to Fox News.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
3 Republicans hoping to replace retiring Senator Mitch McConnell share the stage ahead of a May primary in Kentucky.
Immigration became a focal point early on in the debate. Former State Attorney General Daniel Cameron brought up so-called sanctuary cities.
If you are a blue city, if I'm in the United States Senate, I'm going to be voting to ban you receiving federal funding.
Congressman Andy Barr took a swipe at businessman Nate Morris.
There's only one candidate on this stage who has actually supported taxpayer funding of illegal immigrants, and it's Mr. Morris.
Morris founded Rubicon Technologies and said he was the only one on stage at the debate who'd created jobs.
I took $10,000. I built one of the largest waste management companies in the United States, and I did it all from scratch and provided free health care for every one of my employees.
Overall, the candidates seemed to agree on policy and each had praise for President Trump. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
More than a dozen other candidates, Republican and Democrat, are on the May 19th ballot. Multiple primaries today in Illinois, including a Senate race with record spending in the fight to replace retiring Democrat Dick Durbin. A country star ties a crossover record.
A cowboy always finds a way. Ella Langley's Choosing Texas is back at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, marking a third week on top. With that, Langley ties a record, the most weeks at number 1 on the Hot 100 for a song by a woman. That also topped Billboard's Hot Country Songs chart. She matches Taylor Swift's 3-week run in 2012. The two now stand above other country crossover hits by women, including Beyonce's Texas Hold'em and Dolly Parton's Islands in the Stream with Kenny Rogers and 9 to 5, all of which spent 2 weeks at number 1. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
Oil prices rise again, but pair bigger gains. U.S. crude settling under $96 a barrel, and stocks finish with gains, though also off session highs. The Dow up 46 points. Elisa Brady, Fox News.
It's Stevie J Broadcasting's Bracket Challenge as we get into March Mayhem with ESPN 93.5 in our radio cluster. Our listeners will take a shot at guessing which team will go all the way and win some cool prizes. Kramer Siding and Window has their showroom on Country Fair Drive in Champaign. Legacy Solar with Walter Pierce, an energy consultant, to give you a free estimate. Plus Urbana Park District with terrific summer camps and job opportunities. And the University of Illinois Golf Course in Savoy with this season's passes ready to go. All saying, go Illini. Will you make the call on this year's Cinderella story or the underdog uprising? Be prepared to head to StevieJ.com and get your bracket challenge done, as the 87th edition of the tournament is scheduled to begin right after St. Patrick's Day, with the conclusion at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, April 6th. Will you predict who's in the championship game? The Bracket Challenge from Stevie J Broadcasting. Get ready to visit StevieJay.com.
Hey, we're looking for a couple of really professional drivers that know the ropes and would like to get a home where they're treated with respect, getting home every weekend, making a good wage, and doing the right things safely. Yeah.
Awesome. 2 people. All right. And how would they connect with you for that?
They can get me at TIMO@GFTLOG.com or 765-793-7131 extension 4, or even my cell phone right now, 765-505-1295.
And then for dedicated diesel off Route 45 on Triumph Drive, as you're driving toward Rantoulby on the left-hand side, you'll find dedicated diesel. What do you offer there?
Hey, we've got a couple of good mechanics and trailer mechanic and a tractor mechanic right now. We're doing DOT annual inspections, trailer repair, truck repair, just whatever you need, we can take care of.
Wow, that's really nice to know, because, we have to drive into some other cities. Not convenient. You can't get all that done here in Urbana at dedicated diesel.
Hi, this is Damon Hackelman, owner of Clean Ride in Champaign. As winter fades and spring rains move in, melting snow, heavy storms, and stressed pipes can quickly turn into flooding and water damage for homes and businesses across Champaign County. When water shows up where it shouldn't, every minute matters. At Clean Right, we're a family-owned and operated company with deep roots in this community, and we're ready with a 24/7 emergency response. Our certified, experienced technicians arrive fast to assess the damage and start the restoration process right away. Whether it's a flooded basement, burst pipe, or storm damage, we work to make the recovery quick and as stress-free as possible. Our mission is to return your property to clean, safe, like-new condition so you can get back to normal. We work alongside trusted expert partners to make the restoration process smooth and stress-free, guiding you every step of the way. Learn more or request emergency service anytime at cleanright.net.
Jackson Hewitt handles your taxes and your stress. Inhale on no surprise price of $149 or less. Exhale, paying more for complicated taxes. You won't. Inhale, new tax law knowledge. Exhale, missing out on your biggest refund? Certainly not. Don't miss paying $149 or less. Rest easy. Jackson Hewitt's got your taxes. Guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Attention outdoor enthusiasts, get ready for the 36th annual Illinois Deer Classic and Illinois Fishing Expo. Join us March 20th through the 22nd at the Peoria Civic Center for the ultimate hunting and fishing experience. Explore hundreds of vendors selling top brands in the outdoor industry. Gear up for the Big Buck Contest and meet fellow hunters and anglers who share your passion. Bring out the family, find deals on gear, get tips from experts, and let the kids cast a line at the free kids fishing pond. Join us at the Peoria Civic Center for the Illinois Deer Classic, March 20th through the 22nd. See you there.
The Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
Welcome back into The Drive, ESPN Radio 93.5. I'm Curtis Allen. That is Evan Blarney Stone. The most Irish. Was that a Stone Cold? Did I kind of Stone Cold that one?
Yeah.
Sorry. I was trying to put a little Irish accent on it, but I guess I went Texas Rattlesnake
I'm
instead.
eating some cereal here.
You are. You got the Frost and Mini Wheats going.
Yeah, they're dry.
I'm sure they're very dry, and for some odd reason they're green. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I digress from the point. Appreciate you spending some of your St. Paddy's Day with us here on The Drive, very much so. And somebody else that is spending their St. Paddy's, well, part of it anyways, with us right now.
Nobody knows Illini basketball like the great and powerful Toss.
The great one! He's on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line with us. It feels like it's been forever, Kyle Tosk. How are you doing, sir?
I am great. How are you guys?
Doing all right. You had a pretty good view of the Illini in the Big Ten tournament. You made some interesting points with Jeremy Werner on the post-game podcast for Illini Inquirer. I want to start there, and then we'll work our way into the NCAA tournament. What do you think this team needs to carry over, or what could they have learned from what happened with Wisconsin and carry over into the tournament? What needs to be fixed, and what is working just fine, Kyle Tosk?
The biggest thing for me is that they need to learn how to step on a team's throat and close games, and that's something that they haven't done here for the last month, because they've lost 5 of the last 9 entering the NCAA tournament, which definitely is disappointing and leaves a lot of questions. But 4 of those losses are in overtime, and 4 of those losses had big second-half leads. And Illinois just hasn't been able to close those games out. And once again, against Wisconsin, I thought Illinois was really, really good for the first 30 minutes of that game. I thought everything looked like you wanted it to after that week off, coming off of Maryland, kind of resetting, entering the postseason. I thought really on both ends they were really good for 30 minutes. Took a 15-point lead, 60-45 with 11 minutes left, and then they just took their foot off the gas, and it felt like everything was hard for the rest of the game, and all the energy was on Wisconsin's side for the last 11 minutes of regulation and overtime. And I think a lot of that, while plenty of it was Wisconsin's backcourt being awesome and Nick Boyd getting what he wanted to and those guys playing well, I think a big part of it was Illinois and the fact that I didn't see this same intensity that they had early in the game when when Zvonimir Ivicic had that lob and Greg Gard called a timeout. It felt like Illinois was fired up and really had a lot of energy. Felt like that really evaporated down the end of the game, and that's not the first time we've seen that from this team here down the stretch of the year. They let a big lead get away against UCLA, let a big lead get away against Michigan State. So this team's got to learn to not let up in these situations. They've been good enough to win almost all these games, save for Michigan, but they've let them slip because they just haven't delivered that final knockout blow that they've needed to, and they've let these teams hang around. And I think you get into the tournament, just because you take a 10-point lead early, just because you have a 15-point lead in the second half, if this team keeps doing some of the things they've done here down the last month of the year, it's a real problem. And so I think that's the biggest lesson that this group has to take from really that Wisconsin game and down the stretch of the year, is that they have to put a full 40-minute effort together. There's no time to relax. There's no time to let up in these games. But I also think they just got to be tougher in some areas. Like to get out rebounded by Wisconsin, the team that was missing its starting center, the 5th leading rebounder in the Big Ten, that's just unacceptable. And that's got to be a non-negotiable for this team every game. They're such a good team on the glass when they want to be, and they can be a physical team. Like this front court, I know that the label has kind of been placed on them throughout the year of, well, it's a skilled front court, but it's maybe a soft front court. I certainly think that was the case against Wisconsin. I don't think that's been the case all year. I really don't. But it can't be the case in the NCAA tournament. This front court needs to show up, and the rebounding stuff, securing some of those defensive rebounds late in the game when they do get stops. Those are the things that you have to do, because if you don't do them, that's going to be the one possession that sends you home and ends your season this week.
Well, two things, Kyle, out of all great stuff there, what you just said, but two things. One, your former arch nemesis, now you guys are friends, Rafael Davis, was on in the previous hour. And Rafael, he used the word soft. That's how he described the Illini bigs. I have a hard time. I don't want to use that word. I don't like that word. But what you saw out of Wisconsin, it kind of lends itself to how do you get some of that nastiness back that Brad Underwood has talked about? That's where I really went with it. That's the sort of stuff that we've heard from Underwood. Where's that physicality and the nastiness of this team? And two, if it's not there, and that identity of letting games slip away, is that their identity going to the tournament? And how do you shake some of that?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing that has to happen this week heading to the NCAA tournament. And at the selection show on Sunday, Kylan Boswell said that he called a team meeting and had everybody over to his apartment, and they kind of went through some things and tried to get on the same page and just refocus themselves into the NCAA tournament. I think you can look at that in two different ways. One, very concerning that there needs to be a team meeting right before the NCAA tournament in March, and that's going on. But two, I think just to kind of change things up, and I do think just kind of have that come to Jesus moment as a team of like, hey, what we've done here the last month isn't good enough. If we want to make the run that we can, we got to hash some things out here, and we got to have some of these harder conversations to get back to the identity that we've had at our best. And so I think just getting some of those intangible things back, the nastiness, as Brad Underwood calls it, I think that's a big piece of what this week is going to be. And, I do think that when you look at this team and you try to project them making a deep run in the NCAA tournament, those are the things that, there's certain things that you have to bring every night. The shot making is going to come and go. 3-point shooting is going to come and go. We know this team has defensive limitations, and this isn't a defense that's going to lead you to a Final Four. But I think just some of the nastiness, toughness, rebounding, physicality things that this team has been so inconsistent with, you got to bring that every game in the NCAA tournament, and then you can start to talk about some of the other matchup things. But if those aren't even there and you can't bring that consistently, then I think you're really playing from behind, and it's going to be really difficult to beat some of these higher level teams now that you get into the big dance.
Now, Kyle, we were trying to figure out before you hopped on here where you would be calling from as it's spring break. Are you in Cancun, Panama City? Like, where are you at right now?
I really wish I was. That sounds a lot nicer than the 22 degrees Oak Brook, Illinois weather that I'm in right now. I'm back at my parents' house right now. So I wish it was a cooler place.
Well, get yourself a drink with a little umbrella and turn the space heater on, and it'll be the same thing. So now,
same vibe, yeah.
As we look forward rather than backward, we all know we got Penn on Thursday night. Is there anything that Penn does that gives you a little bit of pause? I said the only thing that makes me kind of is that it's Fran McCaffrey, and he's been scheming against Brad Underwood for 10 years. So he's already probably got something in mind that he'd like to do. But
very sneaky man.
Other than that, is there anything about Penn that worries you?
Shooting. They're a really good 3-point shooting team, and they spread the floor and can make shots and get hot from three. They shot 14 of 28 in that Ivy League championship game from three to beat Yale, and 7 of those are from TJ Power, who had 44 points, and is a high major talent. He was former 5-star prospect, spent his first year at Duke, transferred from Virginia last year, now to Penn, and has been really good for Fran McCaffrey, who's kind of really had a nice string of some of those bigger wings, whether it was at Iowa and now at Penn, that in his offense have thrived and stumbled upon TJ Power, who's been really good for them. So he's a guy who's not going to be overwhelmed by the size of Illinois and the high major talent that Illinois is going to throw at him. He's 6'9", 220 pounds, elite shooter, and a guy that could give Illinois some trouble offensively. And just as a team, Penn can make a lot of shots, and if it's their night and they're getting a lot of threes to fall, and Illinois has given up a lot of those at times this year, then maybe they can hang around. But that's really it. I mean, I think Penn's got to have an incredible three-point shooting night to even make this a game, because I just think Illinois is going to get whatever they want in the paint. And this is an Ivy League team that just doesn't have anything inside. And I think Illinois is going to have so many advantages on the interior, whether it's on the offensive glass, whether it's just at the rim. I think this could be a huge Andrei Stojakovic game, because I don't see anybody on Penn that can really keep him out of the paint. I think David Mirkovic can have a big game in this one. I think if Illinois makes a concerted effort to pound the ball inside, which is something that they need to do, because I think they've had a tendency here recently as well to maybe settle a little bit and get out of what's been working for them. I thought they should have gone inside a lot more than they did against Wisconsin. But if they come in with that mindset against a team that just is going to be so overwhelmed, I think Illinois just has way too much. And this Penn team really is three-point reliant. They've been awful inside the arc, really inefficient. And so I think unless they're making 17 threes in this game and TJ Power has another 40-point game, I think Illinois should be in pretty good shape in the first round.
ESPN Radio 93.5, it is The Drive. I'm Curtis Allen. That's Evan Stone. Our guy, the great one, Kyle Tosk from Illini Inquirer on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line with us. Kyle, another day, another huge accolade for Keaton Wagler, now officially an AP second-team All-American, which is very, very cool. What does Keaton need to do, or does he need to do anything in the tournament to kind of solidify his legacy among the best of Illini history?
Yeah, I think ultimately his one season here at Illinois, for as amazing as he's been all year long, and it will always be remembered as probably the best freshman season in Illinois history. And definitely one, just the story around him, I think, is one that'll resonate for a while. The fact that he was so under-recruited and, was ranked so low and kind of emerged out of almost nowhere to be such a star. I think that will always be there. But ultimately, to be remembered as a great, you got to make a deep tournament run. That's what it comes down to in college basketball. It's how programs are defined, it's how seasons are defined, it's how individuals are defined. And so I think Keaton Wagler does need to have a big tournament here and lead Illinois to some type of run to really solidify the season that he's had. That's not going to take away, if he doesn't, it's not going to take away from all the good he's done. But I think to be remembered, to be, a long-lasting guy in a program, I think it has to come with NCAA tournament success. And look, I think he has to be that superstar for this team if they want to make an Elite Eight or a Final Four. I think you need him to be the guy that he was in January and early February. And I liked his game for the most part against Wisconsin in the Big Ten tournament. I know he missed all three of his shots in overtime, but before that, I thought he was pretty assertive and still isn't shooting it as well from three. But I liked the aggressiveness that I saw from him. But you need that throughout this NCAA tournament. And if he's a guy, if he can get back to being a consistent 20, 25 point a game scorer and be that guy for you, because a lot of times these games come down to who has the best guard on the floor. Everyone says guards win in March, and the team with the best guard usually has an advantage, and Illinois certainly can have that in most games. But I think he's got to have a big tournament and lead Illinois to, at least the second weekend, and maybe even take down Houston for this to really be remembered as an all-timer type of season.
Okay, so question, because Keaton is, as we all know, he's projected in as a lottery pick right now. He's in that top 10. Do you think this tournament run means anything for those projections, for his draft status? Do you think it's already kind of locked in no matter what happens over the next couple of weeks that he's in there, or can he move up farther? Can he drop down way lower? What does it look like for you, draft status, and what these next couple of weeks look like for Keaton?
I do think it can have an impact because the NCAA tournament just has so many eyeballs on it, and it's an opportunity for a lot of evaluators to really kind of hone in on a lot of the top prospects in really big games against quality competition. And so I think there are some times where guys who go on deep tournament runs and have big NCAA tournaments do vault themselves up. I don't think it necessarily is going to change a whole lot, but I do look at, like, there could be a matchup next weekend if both teams are able to get there between Keaton Wagler and Kingston Flemings, who are both kind of battling as, two of the top 4 or 5 point guards in the draft. And that'll be a really interesting one because I think both those guys are pretty clearly top 10 picks. But, if one has a huge game against the other, and I think sometimes that can sway some things, especially in a draft where there's so many good prospects. I think that beyond the obvious guys, the A.J. DeBont, the Darren Peterson, Cam Boozer, like that next group, I think there could be a little bit of separation that comes from this tournament just because there's going to be so many people watching and it's just going to be such high-level games, such a high-pressure stage. I think the guys that can rise to that and outplay some of their counterparts could get a little bit of a leg up from that standpoint for sure.
Kyle, just a couple more because you are a very busy man. We know this, and, we've only got so much time in each hour. But before we let you go, just kind of putting a bow on the NCAA tournament before things get underway officially. The Illini will go as far as blank will take them. Fill in that blank for me, sir.
I think it's the veterans. I think it's Kylan Boswell and Tomislav Ivic really stepping up here. I think those guys, because, I think you can say Keaton Wagler, and I wouldn't argue with it because I do think you need your best player to play like your best player and to have your superstar be a superstar. But I think this team needs more from those two veterans if they want to make a deep run in the tournament. Like, those guys are the ones that have the experience. Kylan Boswell is his 4th NCAA tournament. He's so important defensively. I don't think anyone's expecting Illinois to lock anybody down in the NCAA tournament, but you are potentially going to see Kingston Flemings in the Sweet 16. You're going to see maybe Seth Trimble on North Carolina this weekend. Like, you need Kylan Boswell to step up as a defensive ace for you and be a little bit better than he's been on the defensive end and take some of those assignments and just be more consistent as the senior leader that he is for this team. I think you really need Kylan Boswell, who is the one that has the most experience in these games, to be that calming presence and really step up as that two-way impact guy. And then Tomislav Ivic, I think he is the biggest X factor for Illinois in the NCAA tournament. It feels like we've kind of said that all season, but he's got to be better. He just does. You can't get this version of Tomislav in this tournament and expect to make a deep run because he just opens up so much for what Illinois wants to do. He hasn't shot it well at all for the last really 2.5 months. And now I will say last year he had a great NCAA tournament as a shooter, but I think you need him to get going offensively, but you also just need him to bring some of that toughness inside and to be consistent on the glass and to not be pushed around as much as it feels like he's been here recently. Like, he's a better player than that. He's more experienced than that. I just think you need those veteran guys to take charge here and really elevate their games and be consistent for this team because this team's really been led by 2 freshmen for most of the year in Keaton Wagler and David Mirkovic, and I don't really have all that much concern about those guys showing up and playing well. But I think if you can supplement those guys with some really good, experienced, consistent contributors in Kylan and Tommy, that's where I think this team can reach that ceiling and make a deep run.
Kyle, will you be traveling to watch any of the first round, or are you going to be just chilling on your spring break at home in 22-degree weather with some ice cream?
The second thing will be that is exactly what I'll be doing this week. Yeah, lots of ice cream, lots of basketball. I will not be in Greenville for the first weekend. I do hope to, if Illinois were to advance to Houston next weekend, I do hope to make that trip.
Oh, it's much
for
warmer.
A potential Sweet 16 matchup. So, but yeah, this weekend I'll be covering it all from afar and enjoying some hoops from home.
I love it, man. Well, enjoy the tournament. Looking forward to talking to you again very, very soon, my friend.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
And you can follow Kyle at KTosk13 on all the socials. That is our guy, the great one, Kyle Tosk from Illini Inquirer on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line. 217-359-2255. That is your number for the Max Twin City Recycling text line. It's been a little bit since we did this, but coming up next, you have 5 guarantees for us.
Yep.
These are tournament guarantees or?
Yeah, tournament. So if you're working on your bracket or you've already filled out your bracket, you pull it out because I got 5 guarantees, promises of what will happen in this year's tournament.
We are going to the office of Evan Stone next on The Drive.
It's Stevie J Broadcasting's Bracket Challenge as we get into March Mayhem with ESPN 93.5 in our radio cluster. Our listeners will take a shot at guessing which team will go all the way and win some cool prizes. Kramer Siding and Window has their showroom on Country Fair Drive in Champaign. Legacy Solar with Walter Pierce, an energy consultant, to give you a free estimate. Plus Urbana Park District with terrific summer camps and job opportunities. And the University of Illinois Golf Course in Savoy with this season's passes ready to go. All saying, go Illini. Will you make the call on this year's Cinderella story or the underdog uprising? Be prepared to head to StevieJ.com and get your bracket challenge done as the 87th edition of the tournament is scheduled to begin right after St. Patrick's Day with a conclusion at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, April 6th. Will you predict who's in the championship game? The Bracket Challenge from Stevie J Broadcasting. Get ready to visit StevieJay.com.
Here's what somebody recently said at Pards in Urbana. I was there just a few minutes, and somebody came up and asked if I needed help. And they were incredible, helped me find the size of boot I needed, and then I bought a second pair too. Everything was friendly, everything was excellent. Visit Pards in Urbana, 206 North Maple, between Main and University in Urbana. It's Pards Western Shop since 1968. Or go online and visit pards.com, pards.com.
Our yoga instructor challenged us to find inner peace. I found it faster than anyone. After 4 seconds, I stood up and screamed, "I found Nirvana! I win!" They asked me to leave. I guess they don't respect winning. Bet365 does, though. New customers get $150 in bonus bets just for betting $10. Namaste, losers. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Illinois. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Former Illini Terrence Shannon Jr. of the Minnesota Timberwolves about Ben Quattrone from Sarah Champagne.
What kind of friend has he been?
Unbelievable. Ever since I came to this dealership, me and Ben had interactions. He's been a great person this whole time. It still is. I always would recommend him to anybody about a car or anything. He's always going to be there for you no matter what. He always be behind you. He's just a great person.
Visit SarahChampagne.com. That's SERRA Champagne.com.
Come celebrate Carpet Weaver's Flooring and Furniture Gallery's anniversary sale. You'll find savings store-wide. The installation is half off Mohawk's waterproof luxury vinyl floors. The installation is free on Mohawk carpet. Get up to $1,000 instant rebate on Mohawk carpets and floors. Plus, buy it all with 2 years free financing. It's the perfect time for those home updates. Don't miss the anniversary sale going on now at Carpet Weavers.
I know everything about sports, all of the sports. I know everything about sports, football, baseball, basketball.
It's time for From the Office of Evan Stone. I don't know why the song's skipping, though.
It's too hard.
It is. It goes hard, doesn't it?
Breaking the system.
Oh, yeah.
This was fun to record with you.
Thank you.
As you were doing both double duty, you were on drums and guitar.
Yep.
As I hit lead vocals and
sometimes you got to go in the lab.
There's a lot going on.
And you know everything about sports.
Everything about sports.
Hockey, bocce ball, it's all in there from the office of Evan Stone. It is ESPN Radio 93.5. This is The Drive. I'm Curtis Allen. That is Evan Stone. We're going into his office. 5 guarantees that you have, sir, for
yes, sir,
the NCAA tournament. I'm really excited about this. So let's get into it.
Oh, wow.
I am. I'm pretty excited about your 5 guarantees.
Well, here's the thing: is these are 5 guarantees. Some of them might be hot takes, but most of them are not. I don't know. We'll see how people respond to these. But here's your. I feel like we need like March Madness music or something.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
Dun, 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 dun,
Let's see here. Let's see.
dun.
Let me do a little quick search. St. Patty's, March Madness. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. All right, here we go. All right, here you go.
Not what I was thinking, but all right.
March Madness, St. Patty's.
All right. Here's your first promise. Your first guarantee. Your 13 through 16 seeds will go winless this year.
No big shockers, you're saying. 13 to 16 going over?
For the second year in a row and the third time in the last decade, your 13 through 16 seeds will they'll go 0 and 16 this year. There's not going to be one of those major upsets from a 13 over a 4, 14 over a 3, 15 over a 2, 16 over a 1. It will not happen this year.
Okay.
There's zero path. So if you've picked some of those in your bracket, you might want to change it.
You may want to think about that. Yeah. Yeah, you may want to change. Okay. I like that. What is number 2? Well, I keep working on the NBA music. Or NCAA music.
I was say NBA music.
Nobody wants that.
Promise number 2. A 12 will beat a 5.
Uh-oh. Which 12 will beat a 5? Do you have any? Don't know yet.
I don't know. I'm just guaranteeing that it will happen. Only 3 times in the last decade, the 5s went undefeated in each year. Not this year. It's not going to happen this year. A 12 will beat a 5. A promise here in a little bit will guarantee you which 5 won't lose. But I do believe a 12 will beat a 5. I don't just believe it. I promise.
You know it's going to happen.
I promise.
It's one of your 5 guarantees.
It's going to happen. Promise number 3. I feel like I'm talking into the void.
No, you're not talking into the void. Why do you feel like that?
Well, what happened to House of Pain?
Huh? No, why am I even...
we want this?
Why am I even overthinking this? It's from the office of Evan Stone.
All right, promise number 3. A double-digit seed will make the Sweet 16.
Wait, a double-digit?
A double-digit seed will be in the Sweet 16.
So here's what we got. So 13 to 16, it won't be one of them.
Nope.
A 12's going to upset a 5.
Yep. So a 10,
that means
an 11, a 12...
One of those 3.
One of those 3 will be in the Sweet 16. It has happened every single year for the last 10 years. So, if you do not have a double-digit seed in your Sweet 16, your bracket's wrong. It's already wrong. Before we even start.
Okay, I got to look at my bracket.
It's wrong. Ready?
Okay, so that's the third one. All right.
Promise number 4.
Okay, I'm ready.
Last year was the first time in over a decade that all number 1 seeds made the Final 4. It won't happen again.
Ooh.
So I am promising you this year, all 4 1 seeds will not be in the Final 4.
Do you have a thought on which 1 seed of the 4 will get bounced?
I do.
Who's it going to be?
Well, I'm not going to tell you that today.
Oh, okay. That might be in your bracket at StevieJay.com.
It is. I don't want to give too much leeway. We might go through our brackets tomorrow as we get closer.
Yeah, have a little fun with that.
To Thursday. But I'm not going to tell you today because a lot of people are getting in.
Okay.
I don't want you to steal my answers.
Well.
My gosh.
All right.
Okay.
And the last guarantee from the office of Evan Stone.
Promise number 5.
Mm-hmm.
On this great St. Patty's Day.
Yes, it is.
In the first round, the Saints will all come out victorious.
What does that mean?
St. John's, St. Louis, St. Mary's, and Santa Clara
yes.
will all win. Guaranteed will all win their first round matchup.
There you go. From the office of Evan Stone. He knows everything about sports.
There is a 0% chance that Northern Iowa is going to beat St. John's.
You know who else? Northern Ireland. They're not going to beat St. John's.
They're also not going to do it. St. Louis playing Georgia in St. Louis.
Yeah,
give me all of that.
I'm with you on that one.
Give me all of that.
Yeah.
St. Mary's playing against a Texas A&M team that I think has lost like 8 of 11.
They're really limping in.
They're horrible. And then Santa Clara, they're playing Kentucky. That's the toughest one of the bunch. But once I went with the other 3 Saints, I was like, you got to throw Santa Clara in there as well.
Got to do it.
I think Pope gets fired this year. And I don't know that for sure or anything. I don't even know what his buyout is. I just know they have very, very underperformed. They've vastly underperformed.
There's a bevy of underperforming going on with them.
In Kentucky with him. So, I promise you, St. John's, St. Louis, St. Mary's, Santa Clara.
All the Saints.
They're going to win. The Saints will come out victorious.
The many, many Saints of the NCAA tournament.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, poor Northern Iowa because, and Scott and Terre Haute said the St. John's is underseeded. Yeah, they're incredible.
They're really good.
They're a really good basketball team.
Yeah, they're really good.
People have what UConn did to them a couple of weeks ago stuck in their head too much when UConn came in and beat them by 30 or whatever.
Hey, listen, the worst defeat that UConn had this year was my fault, okay, because I filled in on Etched in Stone. That was all me. But then they bounced back and did what they did against St. John's.
St. John's won 2 out of 3 against UConn this year.
Yeah.
They have some really good wins. They I think have won like 9 out of 10 coming into March. They're a really good basketball team, and the fact that they are a 5 is kind of wild. It's kind of wild.
No, they're. I think they are the best of the 5s, and
for sure.
With respect to Wisconsin as well, I think
for sure
St. John's is the best of the 5s.
So once again, your 13 through 16 seeds will go winless, second year in a row, third time in a decade.
All right, so that's guarantee number 1.
A 12 will beat a 5, but it's not going to be Northern Iowa.
Guarantee number 2.
A double-digit seed will make the Sweet 16. It happens every year.
So that's 10 to 12. That's guarantee number 3.
And all 4 1 seeds will not be in the Final Four.
That's guarantee number 4.
And then the Saints will come out victorious.
Mm-hmm. You know why? Because he knows all of the sports. And that's how we do it from the office of Evan Stone. Should we put that up on the socials, you think? Your 5 guarantees?
Yeah, we can do that.
I think we should. I think we better get those up on our socials.
We can do that.
At The Drive 935 on Twitter and Instagram. Also the ESPN 935 Facebook page. Because I'm so glad we did this. I'm so glad we got to go back to the office of Evan Stone.
Yeah. Michael in Charleston says, my guarantee is 3 of Evan's 5 will come true. Hey, that's pretty good. If I get 3 out of 5, I'm winning. So I'll take that 8 days a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me too, man.
So,
oh man,
yeah.
Bocce ball, rugby, cricket, and March Madness. The man knows.
I love shuffleboard
and curling. I know you do. 217-359-2255. We'll do some more March Madness, Illini. Maybe even a little baseball in there as well. We'll do more of that next on The Drive.
Hey, we're looking for a couple of really professional drivers that know the ropes and would like to get a home where they're treated with respect, getting home every weekend, making a good wage and doing the right things safely. Yeah.
Awesome. 2 people. All right. And how would they connect with you for that?
They can get me at timo@gftlog.com or 765-793-7131 extension 4, or even my cell phone right now, 765-505-1295.
And then for dedicated diesel off Route 45 on Triumph Drive, as you're driving toward Rantoulby on the left-hand side, you'll find dedicated diesel. What do you offer there?
Hey, we've got a couple of good mechanics and trailer mechanic and a tractor mechanic right now. We're doing DOT annual inspections, trailer repair, truck repair, just whatever you need, we can take care of.
Wow, that's really nice to know because, we have to drive into some other cities. Not convenient. You can't get all that done here in Urbana at Dedicated Diesel.
Attention outdoor enthusiasts, get ready for the 36th annual Illinois Deer Classic and Illinois Fishing Expo. Join us March 20th through the 22nd at the Peoria Civic Center for the ultimate hunting and fishing experience. Explore hundreds of vendors selling top brands in the outdoor industry. Gear up for the Big Buck Contest and meet fellow hunters and anglers who share your passion. Bring out the family, find deals on gear, get tips from experts, and let the kids cast a line at the free kids fishing pond. Join us at the Peoria Civic Center for the Illinois Deer Classic, March 20th through the 22nd. See you there.
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our promise to help you always be comfortable. Do you need rescued because you're burning hot? Do you need rescued because your air is shot? Call ABC Heating and Air at 352-5400 and let us rescue you from the heat. ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400. Can't you see you need to call me at ABC? Call ABC Heating and Air. That's ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400.
Since we opened our doors in 1868, Busey has fostered deep customer relationships and vibrant communities, embodying a legacy of partnership and progress. With multiple lines of business, we provide a range of financial solutions tailored to your needs. From digital banking to planning for retirement, Busey is here to help you achieve your financial goals. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
You've changed thousands of diapers, played hours of peekaboo and duck duck goose because you do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow will help make it easy and affordable to help you protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow in Champaign-Urbana today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
Welcome back into the Drive on ESPN Radio 93.5. I'm Curtis Allen. That is Evan Stone. Thanks for spending some of your St. Patty's Day with us. It's been a good one, man. Shout out to the great one, Kyle Tosk, for hopping on a little bit ago from Illini Inquirer. If you missed that conversation, we'll have it up for you at steviejay.com. Also, wherever you get your podcast. Rafael Davis from Big Ten Network. He's on the way in just a bit, and Rafael's got some thoughts on the NCAA tournament and this Illini team, and it's going to be a very very interesting chat with him as well. Looking forward to that one if you missed it earlier.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
And I just want to clarify something. I got a text that said St. Louis isn't playing in St. Louis. Is that inaccurate or accurate? We better double check. I know Mizzou is.
I thought they were because I thought Michigan was in. Oh, you know what? Wait, I thought is Michigan? No, Michigan is in.
They're in the Midwest, so they,
Yeah, but I thought that was in St. Louis. Maybe. Still, St. Louis is going to beat Georgia. I'm not worried about it whatsoever. Not even a little bit.
Yeah, not worried about it at all.
We'll effort that.
Either way, I think you're right. I think St. Louis is going to beat Georgia. I do have that in my bracket.
They're in Buffalo.
Nobody wants to be there, not even DJ Moore,
They're in what? I think DJ does want to be in Buffalo.
I think he does want to be there.
Yeah.
I did see, so you know how sometimes Bears players, they'll host camps in Champaign? He was supposed to host one of the camps here in town I think it's at the end of May, and now it will be Mighty Monungai. Kyle Monungai will be the representative.
Camp host?
Yeah, he'll be the camp host and the rep of the Chicago Bears. So if you had a kiddo and you had him signed up for the DJ Moore camp, I believe it is now Kyle Monungai that will be coming to town.
Yeah, so instead of learning how to catch, you're going to learn how to lower your head and run people over.
Run right through a fool. Just run right over.
It was going to be agility drills. Now it's going to be just running through walls.
Just ball high and tight, head down, boom, right into the chest of a linebacker. Run right through him. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, hey, college basketball tonight.
What do we got tonight?
We got play-in games. They're all kicking off.
Are you ready to etch something in stone, or are you just excited about...
honestly, I'm just excited, but you want to etch some things in stone? I can do that, too.
That's totally up to you, man. It's your bit.
We got 2 games for the NCAA, the play-in games. Do you count these as the NCAA tournament?
I mean, here's the thing. The 11 seeds, I kind of do. The 16s, no. That's just your meat for the beast. Yeah, it's fun. But those 11 seeds, I'm always a little... I never fell out a bracket until after those are played. I'm always a little worried that one of those 11 seeds might bite somebody in the first round.
So, both games tonight on True TV.
Especially with one of your 5 guarantees that you just mentioned, sir, that somebody a 10, 11, or a 12 seed will go to the Sweet 16.
Yeah, it's guaranteed.
So you guaranteed that. So now I'm extra iffy about ignoring the 11 play-in game.
Yeah. So you got UMBC. Go Retrievers.
Hey, one of my favorite networks, NBC, you know?
UM.
Oh.
As in Michael.
Oh.
BC.
I don't watch that channel.
Up against Howard tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Go Bison. Yeah, who knows what's going to happen
I got to root for Howard in that one.
Really?
Nah.
Over the Retrievers?
I don't know. I like Howard.
Come on. You remember when UMBC beat Virginia? They were the first ever 16 seed to beat a 1?
Actually, I do remember that. That was glorious. That ruined my bracket because I had Virginia going to the Final Four. But you know what? It was so awesome that year. Couldn't care less.
It's quite possible I had Virginia winning the whole thing.
But it was too exciting.
Yeah. I was on the phone with Ravi that whole game. We're just like, can you believe this is happening? This is going down? So Howard's a 1.5 point favorite, but screw that. UMBC, baby, plus 1.5.
Oh. We need money. There it is.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. That's it.
We're etching it.
That's that bad boy in clay.
This is all Evan Stone hour here, man.
Because I don't really know anything about those two teams.
Hey, I did really well. Did I say this yesterday? I did really well over the weekend with some of the...
No.
Yeah. I had a nice little parlay.
Well.
With the Big Ten, ACC, and another one that I'm forgetting off the top of my... But it doesn't matter. I got a nice little parlay, turned $1 into $27. I was feeling pretty good about that. Yeah. That's what I like. Then I spent it immediately on Mexican food.
That's what it's for.
It was so good.
That's what it's for.
Chori pollo, man.
Yep. Then at 8:15, you got Texas versus NC State.
Now that is one where I look at that and I go, either one of those teams could cause a little problem in the tournament. Maybe hypothetically, I'm not
really.
Maybe
I think they both suck.
I know you don't like Texas. I know you've said Texas. Texas is not what they were supposed to be this year either, man.
I don't know who. So winner of that game. They're heading off to play BYU in Portland. So you play in Dayton on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And then you travel up to Portland to catch BYU. I don't know if either of those teams are beating BYU in Portland. So I'm not sure how much this game matters tonight. You want another guarantee?
I love your guarantees.
SMU is going to beat Miami, Ohio tomorrow in the other play-in game.
You really don't like Miami, Ohio.
I don't think they're very good.
You really don't like that team.
It's not that I don't like that team.
You don't believe that team. You don't believe in them.
They've yet to play a team this year even close to as good as SMU.
It's true. I can't argue that point.
So,
but you know what?
I really don't give a daggum where we play.
That's it, man. The chori pollo from Mi Veracruz is divine.
Oh, it is pretty good, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I've never had it.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know.
Why did you say that?
A 217 texter just said that.
Oh, you just reading whoever you are, 217. Yeah, chori pollo, Mi Veracruz. Yeah.
What's Mi Veracruz?
Oh, it
sounds like an actress that.
Well, she's wonderful.
Was with Antonio Banderas in lots of movies in the 90s.
Well, that would be Salma Hayek is who you're talking about.
Nope, I'm talking about Mi Veracruz.
And she's as wonderful as chori pollo. I will tell you that much. I will always have a crush on Salma. She's a fox.
So in the Oscars, Pedro Pascal came out?
Yeah, no mustache.
It took my wife and I, we were like, is that Pedro?
All he did is shave off his mustache, and people were like, who is this man?
My gosh.
Why is he on television?
I had no idea who it was.
He's been in 50 movies in the last year.
But he's everywhere.
But he shaves off his mustache. He had his mustache during the Super Bowl, I think, right?
He did?
Yeah.
That's how I knew it immediately.
It's like, wait a minute, who is this? That's not Pedro Pascal. Who is that?
He's one of the few people that got rid of the mustache and looked less friendly. Like I didn't like with mustache. That feels like a fun guy. Without it, I was like, oh, he's kind of scary. 309 texter says Stone bracket is garbage.
Ooh, with a garbage can emoji.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you can watch me fight after this show.
Who are you gonna fight?
I'm gonna find 309. You don't even know. Are you in the challenge, bro? Or ma'am?
I really hope it's a woman. I would love, nothing would make me happier is if you were like, you know what, we're going to fight after this.
Oh, no, it's John. It's Pizza John.
Oh, Pizza John. I was hopeful
That's who I owed a pizza for like a month and a half.
I was hopeful it'd be Pizza Jane that was going to be like, let's meet outside. I got you on that one, didn't I?
I just poured that all over myself.
John and Camargo, not Pizza John, but John and Pizza John. It's like Papa John. John and Camargo, you knew one rant was coming in today, right, boys? All right, here it is. In all of college basketball, Illinois ranks tied for 10th in three-point attempts.
Yes!
They are tied for 14th in percentage of three-pointers made.
Yes!
Of the 68 teams remaining, only two missed more three-pointers than Illinois. Illinois missed 20.5 per game. Only Bama and Louisville missed more threes than the Illini. However, those two teams had a higher make percentage than Illinois. Lastly, in their region, Illinois is number 1 in three-pointers attempted and 11 in percentage made. John is not going to back off. He's not going to back off the three-point shot conversation. But I'll tell you what, if I can help
ahead.
John here a little.
You're going to help John?
A little. Well, I don't know if I'm helping John necessarily, but something that we talked about with the great one, with Kyle Tosk. Get inside. And the matchup with Penn's a great opportunity for Andrei Stojakovic and David Mirkovic to really, really, really have an impact and kind of set the tone for the tournament. And that will come from inside. But we know how the offense runs. We know how it's designed as well.
Correction here. Because you misread his stat.
Which stat did I miss?
I think gives some clarity to it.
Which stat did I misread?
They are tied for 144th in percentage of three-pointers made. You said 14th.
I read what it said. John even said that 14th should have read 144th.
Yeah, I know, but that's not.
So
yeah. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah,
that definitely changes the conversation.
Yeah, they are tied for 140. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's a lot different. Thank you, John and Camargo.
He said, "Read it again.
Read it again,
bud.
You idiot."
Bud.
Hey, bud. You stupid idiot.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, you know what?
Winter is coming.
If you don't read that again, you're gonna just.
And I promise you, we will smash.
Yeah.
All right.
But even in the midst of all of that, still scored north of 80 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if you get rebound, I love this 217 texter. Tell John if you rebound the ball, he doesn't have to type all of that stuff. It doesn't have to be too complicated. Yeah, I mean, it's just like you get your rebounds, and you're still scoring north of 80 points. It's fine, guys. It's fine.
I will never bash analytics. Well, not usually. Once in a while, maybe. But we have just fallen in love with it. It's a simple game, right? It's a pretty simple game.
Put the ball in the hoop.
Put the ball in the hoop. If it doesn't rebound, try again. So 217 texter, no, that's. I had a football coach once that said, I'll paraphrase a little bit because he was kind of cussing at me a hair. He's like, "This is a simple game, Curtis. Who makes it difficult?" And I was like, "Players and coaches." Yeah, players and coaches. Now do what I told you to do. Quit overthinking.
So even he agreed coaches make it complicated.
He said players and coaches make it more complicated than it should be. Shout out to Coach Mick, my dude. Anyways, 217-359-2255. I thought there was a text that rolled in about the rock band Kiss, but no, it's Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. Thank you again, 217 texter.
I don't think it's supposed to be Kiss It.
Did I say it says Kiss?
No, it says Kiss It.
Oh.
What are we kissing?
We're the band.
John said.
I had that thought. That's it.
Yeah, John said in accounting terms it's called opportunity cost. I'll define it tomorrow. I bet you will, John. I'm going to be ready.
I love John and Camargo, man.
I don't know opportunity cost. I know a return on investment.
I
get my ROI.
Let me tell you something about return on investment, sir.
Oh, really?
You know who can help you with your return on investment?
John and Camargo.
Well, maybe if John and Camargo works for our friends at Busey. Tax season's here. Taxes can be taxing. Rethink tax time with Busey. Their associates are here to help with expert advice and innovative products and services. And maybe that's John in Camargo. I don't know if he works at Busey or not. Tax day is approaching. The deadline to file is in a month, Tuesday, April 15th. So avoid costly penalties and keep money in your pocket. Contribute to retirement accounts by the 15th of April. Organize your records and file electronically. If you do that, you'll get your refund faster. Did you know that less than 1% of electronic returns have errors compared to 20% of paper returns? Huh? The typical taxpayer receives that one really got me. What? Receives nearly $3,000. Make the most of your refund this year by paying down bad debt, building savings, retirement and investment accounts, or establishing or restoring an emergency fund. Tax laws can be complex and they change frequently. The experts at Busey suggest you consult your tax advisor before making investment and tax decisions. Visit Busey.com or stop by one of their many convenient locations in Central Illinois to get started today on your maximum refund. Investment products and services are not FDIC insured, may lose value, no bank guarantee. And we thank Busey for being a sponsor of The Drive. And John in Camargo, if he works at Busey, in a roundabout way, he's